what your process is for coming up for the specific webinar topics that you choose to teach on.
That's a good question. It kind of comes back to that original process, but there's some fundamentals in copywriting that generally, like, you give people what they want and then you teach them what they need. So usually, what do people really desire? Because that's going to get them involved in the process from the beginning. Because people come into, think about it, whenever you click on an advertisement, your brain is looking for a reason to leave. There's all these like alarms going off in your head, like it's going to take money away from me, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. So what can I do to sweeten the deal, per se, I guess, on the front end so that they'll actually engage with me? Because once I know they engage, like, it becomes a relationship. So how do I turn that stranger into somebody who wants to have a conversation with me? That process, that's where the topic comes from. And so if I'm doing a webinar on the benefits of using story in your marketing, I probably won't lead with how to create a great story to help you sell better, because that doesn't pizzazz, it doesn't pull people as much as maybe something like, have you tried using story? Or you probably know that using story in your business is the most effective way to sell, but most people make these 3 key mistakes. Here's how to solve them. And it is an empathy tool. It pulls people in and say, well, yeah, I know I should be using story, but I have no idea where to start. Oh, maybe I'm making one of these 3 mistakes. That's just an example, but that's generally where I'll start, is using like the core fundamentals of copywriting to come up with the front end topic. And then usually once you get into the webinar, I'll talk about what really matters, because it's not about story, it's about actually finding the connection between you and your product and your customer, and that's the story. So that the insight doesn't necessarily have to be on the front end. It definitely needs to be in the webinar. The front end may need to be a little more titillating or attractive. Just like if you were trying to get a drink for somebody at a bar, you want to go up and give them the pitch, you might flirt with them a little. So that's generally how I'll come up with the topic of the webinar, but then in the actual webinar it may change a little bit.